Alright, audio test 1, 2, 1, 4, 1. I don't know, you say a bunch of numbers, right? Make sure the audio is working. Alright, so we got the blazer back in here. We're going to be working on the 4 link here. Braden's down there holding the link. So put it out where it was actually.
Right.
So it used to be mounted out here, and we kept bending those brackets there because the frame's not very strong, so we need to strengthen the frame. But while we're strengthening the frame, we're thinking, why don't we just double triangulate it? So we're gonna move them in like that, and we're gonna build a cross member, so it's gonna be a true double triangulated 4 link now. So it'll be better, it'll get those out of the way, and we'll still strengthen the frame and everything because we're gonna hit it on rocks, I'm sure, but it'll be a lot more out of the way and also a lot stronger. Alright, so this is what we're gonna make our cross member out of, because we are budget and we do not have the money to go buy brand new metal. So we are gonna repurpose this receiver hitch off of Rusty. So we're gonna cut all this brackets off and cut this hitch off, and this right here is what we're gonna use to build the cross member. That's a good strong piece of metal and it's the right width. So we're just gonna cut it up with the plasma torch and then clean it up with the angle grinder, and then we'll start building the cross member, and then we'll also have to build some new link brackets. So I'm just gonna build them, I'm not gonna buy them because I've gone over my budget a lot, so. I got this piece of metal all cleaned up, all the brackets cut off of it, so it'll work great. It's super sturdy piece of metal. Now he's gonna make some link mounts onto this, and we'll measure out how far apart we need them, and then we'll figure out how to get this mounted underneath there and bolt it back up, and should be done. Alright, so I think we've decided what we're gonna do here. So look down here, this is the bracket, and we've bent it a few times so the frame's bent and smashed in here. So I think I'm just gonna come in here, cut along here like that, and just cut the bottom of the frame out right there, and then we're gonna cut a piece of 1/4 inch plate still that we're gonna weld along the whole underside of this frame rail here, and that's where it's gonna get mounted, the cross support for the lower links. So that's where we're going to tie it in here. So we're going to strengthen the frame and cut out all the bent frame here, and then we don't have to deal with cutting all these welds and cleaning up that, and that's going to take way too long. So we're just going to cut it out and then rebuild the frame rail right there. So. We just drew up some cardboard, some CAD here, and this is going to go into the bottom of the frame, and the support's going to tie in about right here. So we're making the frame rail thicker, and we're strengthening it this long when we only cut out that much of the frame. So these used to go like right there, or no, out here. That's the wrong way. Yeah, like that. That's about where we cut this out of. So we're adding that much extra to the frame rail for strength, and that's where this is going to tie in, about right there into the frame rail. So
I'll show what this looks like. Just cut it out, a little section. Frame right there. Boom.
Hey, food's done.
yeah, so these are the same brackets we cut off. We measured out. We're gonna cut them here, across there, and longer on this side, so that when we put it on here, it'll be angled like that, out to where it needs to be. And then we're cutting it off here, and we're gonna have a plate that comes from the top of this bracket on top of this. And then here's our frame plates we've made.
Driver side,
Cut
passenger side.
welding holes into them so we can weld to the frame and around the outside edge, and wherever else. Weld here. This will be the cross member, so we'll weld it to the cross member too, because that doesn't need to come out, that's already welded in. Skid, this won't tie into the skid plate or anything, so all that stuff will still unbolt. And yeah, then this will tie into here, about there, and we'll gusset it. And
Be all strong.
yeah, it should be super strong. Alright, so we got the other side fully welded out. So now we're just getting this side into place. The frame's got a little bit of a curve to it there. So we just tack each side, push the middle in, tack it, and then I'll fully weld this side, and then we'll start working on the cross member and the link mounts, and then we'll get that bolted to the links and put up in here where it needs to be, and we'll tack it in place. And then we're gonna pull a spring out and cycle the suspension to just make sure everything clears still. So we're a little worried about hitting the frame here, so we might have to notch the frame here and plate it or something. So we'll figure that out, but it's coming along good. Alright, so I got both frame plates welded, and you can see here, that one right there and that one on that side. They're all welded in nice and solidly. Nice good welds on them all the way around. So now I'm going to start, turn this off. So now I'm going to start cutting these brackets up to get them to work on here. And then I'm just going to tack them onto here until we know that's the right place for them. Alright, so I got both brackets all cut up and I got it all measured out where they're gonna go. So I lined that edge up right there, and that's right where it's gonna sit. And then we're gonna, like we said before, you know, have a plate that goes across the top of both of these like that. Not this, but something that'll go and tie it all together nice and strong. So I'm gonna tack these on. We're gonna bolt the links to them and see how it looks under the truck. Alright, so we got it all, it's just tacked in there right now. We still have to gusset all of this in, but it is in there. The links are hooked up. Alright, so got the springs out and I was flexing it to see, and it does hit the frame there. But I think I have a solution I came up with. So these are mounted way out here to be, you know, to go to the frame rail. So I'm gonna cut these off here, probably with the plasma cutter, and try to save these brackets and just move them over to about here, maybe somewhere in this area, just enough to where when it flexes out it'll clear the frame. Alright, so I got these brackets cut off of here, moved over there and welded in place. So this is my jack's all the way up right now. This is a little bit higher than ride height will be, but you can see there's plenty of room for the frame between the link right there. And down here all looks good too. So now where that mark is, I'm gonna cut this off like that, and then I'm gonna plate it all in and tie it into the frame and make it all strong. But so that's what it's gonna look like. Should work pretty dang good. Give me a lot more clearance under here, with rocks sliding along here. Doesn't have that bracket that hangs down here anymore. It's just gonna have this, but it's barely gonna hang down. So way more clearance, and it should just be better design as well. I just finished getting that all welded up. Looks pretty okay. Those welds in there are a little questionable, but You know, the rest of them look pretty good. Should be pretty stout. I still need to add the supports back here, tying the two links together, the upper and the lower. But yeah. So I just got that all welded up and it's pretty close to being done. All that's left is a couple more just reinforcement brackets, coat of paint, and yeah, it's pretty close. But it is late, so I will be back tomorrow to finish this up. So it is tomorrow now. Alright, so it's the next day. I just got home from work and I went and picked up this from AutoZone to reroute the exhaust a little bit so it clears the new crossmember. And they were also having a good sell on spray paint, so I picked up some spray paint, some gray for the diff covers, and then just 4 cans of black because that's what they had and it was a really good deal. So I bought some of that to paint it all up. But I'm gonna cut the exhaust off so I can get that other piece installed, and then I got these 2 pieces of pipe here. These are just DOM tube from when I built the front and the rock sliders and stuff, but they're gonna work perfect. This one will go on the passenger side so it'll clear the exhaust, and then this one will go on the driver's side because it can just be straight. So that's the plan. So I'm gonna chop the exhaust off and get this stuff in there, and then I'll show you guys what it looks like when I get it all installed. And then I'm gonna put the springs back in it and it'll be back down onto its own weight. Alright, so I just finished welding everything. Everything up here is welded up. So turn the light on. Down here you can see those pieces right there is what I put in. One on either side. Ties the 2 brackets together, the uppers and the lowers. I welded the plate to the upper links as well. Alright, so it's sitting back on its wheels now. I just gave everything just a quick coat of paint, and I also painted the diff cover gray. I think it turned out pretty good. And down here I just gave it all just a quick coat of paint. Not perfect, but it's alright. It's all gonna get scratched off anyway. And up here in the front I painted this one gray as well, and you know, you saw I got the track bar bracket all fixed up. And so yeah, that's gonna be it for this video. So thank you guys for watching. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. I'm really excited to see how it performs. I think it's gonna be a lot better, and it's way stronger than it was before. So like and subscribe, it helps out a ton.